A very warm welcome. Sometimes the mind just can't find a subject, even itself. Sometimes the mind just gives up and says, what the hell am I doing here, Where was I, the body, the mind, 10 minutes ago? In a different place, you see. Yeah, I can remember, coming into the room, jumping up in his seat, pressing the laptop. Where was I 10 minutes ago, you see? I was here. Not in this geographical place, but here. No one understands no mind. I'm going to look at it in a more optimistical way. Everyone knows what here is. Here is the words I exist. When you say here-ness, I is existing. You see? Or you don't even have to use I, existing. Where? Existing. As what? Existing. What's going to happen after existing? Existing. Different flavor, different essence, different sensations. Maybe a different body. Maybe a nobody. But always here. The discovery of your true self is to discover that what you are is not definable, it's not locatable in a geographical sense, and it's not locatable in your own sense, because if you're everywhere like space, where can you say, I will be tomorrow, geographically or spatially? Is there anything outside of infinite life? At the end of the galaxies, the cosmos, the mind says there could be black death. But nothing will know it. If death knows itself, it must be a living death. You see, I apologize to any mind, any ego-looking mind that wants to get some logical information, some unified, controversial, but I get it information. We're here to confuse the mind. We're here to use the mind. We're here to abuse the mind. We're here to confuse the mind. And we're here to love the mind at the same time. Because time takes mind out of the fear factor. Can't find me, says mind, in time. Yeah, I was here yesterday. Where were you? I was with you last night, but not in your body. I was somewhere else, and you were in deep sleep. The body was still. I kept looking down on you and saying, come on, let's get up. And you didn't listen. That's the mind playing games with itself. This is mind playing games with itself. If you don't participate in the game, you're not really worth recognizing. Because when you go out in a strange city and you take the wrong turning and you've no mobile phone and no one can speak your language, you're lost. So you have to spend a long time finding your way back to that hotel. No one to communicate with, no memory, of which way you came from the hotel. You turn around and you say, I don't know if I went left, right. So you go all over that city until something says, something says, I am near. And you find a hotel. And when you go in, you say, I was lost, but now I'm found. But even in the lost state, you never lost yourself. You only lost the direction of your mind, the direction of your body. There's nothing that can lose, because there's nothing that has anything to lose. So the mind says, okay, what a shit boring life. You don't know who you are. I've come to show you who you are. So the mind is the city. The mind is the directions. The mind is the objects that stimulate the memory. And the memory is part of that thinking process that the mind made real in the first place. So the mind is taking you everywhere, but it's always taking you home. But you're never moving in as this everywhere like space, empty, entity or non-entity. So what can lose? Who can lose it? Can space lose itself? Not this space. This space is arising and falling, like the forms around it. There are many clues. The wind never keeps this space still. Always blows it in your face, you see. The wind happens to be not real, you see. You see, if you think about it. Show me the wind. Here it is, you know. Whew. No, that's space. Okay. So you ask the mind, show me the wind. And it gives life to the consciousness. Out of deep sleep. Because in deep sleep you can't say to the mind, show me the wind. Even in a dream state, you can't experience it. You won't wake up saying, if you do, you have a draft or your window open. And then that's maybe the mind showing you the wind. We just take life for granted, you see. You know, the pure mind, the true mind that you're born with, is willing to go through life in an individual way, lost with no communication and no other living beings around it, and find out the same things, but with a more diverse and open way of experiencing the life that we appear as. But unfortunately the mind says, no, this is a privilege, you know. We will do it for you. We will show you the way. We will give you the freedom that you long for. Freedom being shown freedom. And of course the mind fails. And that's why it fails in seeing God. That's why it fails in actually taking a chunk of wind or taking a chunk of space and revealing it in front of your very eyes. So, what to do? Anything to lose? Anything to know, really? No. You see, when you disappear completely, when the non-duality even disappears, it appears like you are deep sleep with your eyes open. And then you discover within that internal Satguru teacher says, okay, are you emptiness? Are you nothingness? Are you self? Are you awareness? Are you presence? And something inside you continues with the Ramana Maharshi method and says to all these things, nati, nati, not this, neti, neti. not even emptiness, nor nothingness, can convince the truth of what is to be revealed and ruined for everyone's journey. You don't have to get lost in the city anymore. Oh, great. But there's nothing else to do. So I'm going to switch off the light. And you're gone. Back to the state that you're here as. With no body and mind. With no emotional, sensory, revelational states of livingness. Even the I am. Gone. So cherish your mind. Cherish the loss. But cherish when you return home to the hotel. Pour yourself a nice glass of whiskey and say, thank you for losing today, mind. And mind will say, I never lost. I always was going to bring you home. I was always going to bring I home.